Today we'll discuss about Global.asax Page. So the name itself indicates that it acts as one of the global file for entire of our application. See, I want to develop an application. Here my application itself indicates that my web application. When I have my web application, I need to track each and every instance that is created under that web application. Means each and every action that is taken by care by that web application. Those things will be tracked with the help of global.asax page. So means this we will call it as an application file. Generally, global.asax is an application file. It contains most whole corresponding application level events raised by ASP.NET or by HTTP modules. By using what we can do is whenever our application is going to be started, that will be tracked with the help of global.asax page. Each and every event that is taken care by a user, or each and every module, or each and every accessibility that is taken care by the user, everything will be tracked with the help of our global.asax page. Generally, this page is a for an entire web application. Say for example, if our web application contains n number of pages, for all the n number of pages, this global.asax page is a one page. Means it's a single file which is available in the root directory. Means we no need to place in subfolder or something. It is directly placed in the root directory. So only one file that dynamically tracks and get the information what is going on for the event to event, or from one page to another. How the navigation, everything will be tracked with the help of this global.asax page. It is an already been it's by default configured page. Compilation of this page is not at all required. We can't directly access this page in the browser. Say for example, I have a 10 pages, so a1.aspx. So you can write localhost something slash a1.aspx means you can access that page. If you type a2.aspx means you can access that particular page. But similarly, you can't access a global.aspx page. Means if you're typing in your browser global.asax means it won't provides an output for you. Rather, it provides an error. Error is nothing but we can't access this file directly. Okay. So no need to compilation of this page because it's an automatically dynamically compilations will be done, so which is always placed in the root directory. This global.ajax events contains some few events. So events are, so generally some events are direct, it's keep on calling. Some events are only calling at specific time. Okay. So generally, suppose we have a multiple request that is going to be handled in our application. So for example, I have a one form. Okay. In order to track each and every action, we have a few events. Means by using this event, each and every request is going to be filed. So here events will be categorized with two types. Those two types are events which are not filed for every request, and other is events which are filed for every request. These are the two types of events. What does it mean? Means, say for example, I have a 10 pages. So a user is accessing first page. In first page, they want to fill some information. When they click a submit button, when they click a button, that is nothing but one event, right? When I click a button, that is nothing but button click event. At that time, in global.asax page also, some events will be raised. Okay. Similarly, if you have any authentication process, means we are checking whether the if user enters user ID and password, we are going to cross verify that user is available or not. So it means authentication process, some event will be raised. So authorization, okay. If it is an authenticated user, then we need to check an authorization. So these concepts we'll get to learn in tomorrow's class, such as authentication and authorization. So authorization means we will check the identity of the user. At that time, a few events will be called from the global.asax page. And request handlers, post request handlers, okay, update request cache when you are using a cache. So those things means when you do any certain necessary operations on our page, each and every operation is going to be taken care by our global.asax page. Means for every request, these events are also parallelly going to be fired, and few events which are not fired for every request. Those are very important. Application start, session start, application error, session end, application end, and application disposed. Means whenever we are going to close our application, those things will be there. These are very important. We can use these events commonly in our programming. Means this one, application start, session start, application error, session end, and application disposed. What does application start means? This event raised when the application starts up and application domain is created. Suppose when you host our application in our server, the moment when you click on start, so first time application start event will be fired. Okay, so now my application was on live, so many people are accessing from their locations itself. Similarly, I want to, like, log into my application from different location. So then a session is created for corresponding to the user. So whenever a session is created, then session start is going to be, like, that event will be fired. This event is raised for each time a new session begins. This is a good place to put the code in a session specific. So when we want anything at the special session specific, we can write our own code here itself. And application error, say for example, in our application, any page, maybe 10th page or first page or third page, if we have any error, then directly this application error will be raised. Means this event raised whenever an unhandled exception occurs in the application. This provides an opportunity to implement a generic application wide error handling. In this, we can handle generic way with the help of our application error. See, I logged into the, as a user, I logged into the system. So if I want to log out a system, means I'm going to end my session. Then this event called when session of user ends. Okay, and application end. If we stop our server, see, application start and application end will occurs only one time. Means application start means when we hosted our application or server, when we click on start, then application start will be first. When you click on end or stop at our server level, then application end will be raised. Because this event raises just before when web application ends. Next, application disposed. This event is felt when application is destroyed, and this event is used to reclaim the memory. Suppose generally in few instances we are going to restart our server. Means when we are going to restart means applications will be disposed. Why we are going to restart means we have to recycle the memory which is allocated for our server. Means we want to dispose the memory which is allocated for the server. So whenever we are going to click on restart, whenever we are going to click on stop in server level, which means that memory is disposed which is allocated for particular site, so that again a fresh entire unnecessary data will be created, so that it is very easy to, like, search the request better than an earlier phase. That is the reason where if server is too busy something, if we have more amount of memory, so then we would like to make a restart, or we will stop and again we will start. These mechanisms will do. When we stop means automatically application disposal will be done. So, but here application end means as a user, if you close your application, then only application end will be there. It doesn't means that a server will be closes. Application means a user perspective. Okay, application disposed means a server perspective. Okay. These are the events that we are going to use regularly. And these events up to here, these events are filed for every request. So generally we won't address this type of events for every request, but here no, we just simple application begin request whenever we have an start of every web application. Suppose if you start from your location, if I start from my location, somebody start from their location, means your application is being started from different number of users. At that time your application begin request event will be filed. And once you open your web application, so and there you have a provision to pass user ID and password. If this is the case, then you have to validate whether your information is correct or not. Whenever you have such a process, then authenticate request is an event. This event rise just before user credentials are authenticated. So means whether they are provided valid credentials or not, that we will check. In order to provide our own custom authentication implementation, we can use this event. And application authorized request, okay, means if you have a user ID and password, whether you are a valid user or not, means whether you have an authenticated user or not, those things will be taken care by this application authorization request. And application resolve request cache. Suppose if you have application, so if you want to caching, if you want to apply some caching concept, before going to that, this event will be applied, so that once cache will be processed at our application level. And acquire requested means this is a session specific. If you want to retrieve any information from the session, then this will be raised. Next, pre-render handler request. HTTP modules, whenever we have a request from the HTTP handler, this will be taken care by the pre-render handler execute. And post-render means when an event called after the request, then post request handler will be called. Release requested. This event does when session specific information is about to serialize from the session collection. Means we are going to convert our data into objects. Whenever we are going to convert our data to the object, then release request state is going to be executed. Update request cache means if you want to store any of your information in your cache variable, then this event will be raised. And if you want to close our application, then application means our request is going to be ended, then application end request will be raised. But these are the events which are not used frequently by us. So but these are the events which we are going to use frequently in our web applications. Okay, I would like to show you how demonstrate work with these events, application level events, means with the help of our global.asax page. So here I want to open my database also. Here I want to create one table, table users. See, I created a table so which contains few columns. Suppose I pass username as Rekha 1 2 3 4 5 6. So created by, say for example, admin. One two three, like that I gave at the rate 1 2 3. I'd like to check. So now I have two records. And what I want to do is I want to create one login page. By using that, I would like to establish a connection to the database, and I will create a session. Okay. Here I want to create one web form. So add new item. I would like to name it as ex1.axpx. I would like to go to the table. Inside table, just I want to write something. 3 rows and 2 columns. Enter username. Text box. Enter password. Button. So for example, login. btn login. This is txt password. And for password, we have to change text mode. So for text mode, here we have a password. Means uh, it won't be accepts a plain text. So whenever we are typing, it will be in star mode. Txt uname. When I click on login button, I want to write some code here itself. So first, in order to establish a connection, same step. So using system.data and another is data.sql client, right? So next you have to take SQL connection con equal to. So then we'll take and declare a command object con equal to new SQL connection server equal to dot. Next integrated security equal to true, and database equal to, what is your database, July 2017. So and I would like to open my connection, and here I have my command cmd equal to new SQL command. So I would like to write select count of star from TBL users, where See, I'd like to write a query first here, and then I'd like to explain what is going on. Where uname equal to Rekha and password corresponding to Rekha 1 2 3 4 5 6. Suppose if we write a query like this, count of star I used, right? This is one of the aggregate function. For this we have to use a scalar, execute scalar. When I click on this function, I'll get a result 1. Suppose if we write something here 1 2 3 4 6 0, mean if 0 means there is no record which is available with the database, it means that this is not an authenticated user. If it is 1 means this is an authenticated user. Okay, so I would like to copy the query here. Username equal to single quote double quotes plus txt uname dot text. Similarly here plus txt password dot text, comma con cmd dot command type equal to command type dot text. So now we have to check int I equal to cmd dot execute scalar, because whenever we are using an aggregate functions, then we can make use of execute scalar if I greater than 0, which means that which is an authenticated user. So now when I click, I would like to take one button here, sorry, label here, sp label id equal to lbl message, run at equal to server. So here I would like to write lbl message dot for color. For colors you can write using system dot drawing. Here namespace is that using system dot drawing. Color dot, so red. So here lbl message dot font dot bold equal to true. lbl message dot text equal to invalid credentials. Please try again. So after this we would like to clear the values. Username dot text equal to txt password dot text equal to, and we would like to make a focus on username. If it is a valid, I would like to take one more page. My page name is add new item ex2 ex2.asax. Here I would like to take one label lbl message not equal to server. I would like to take my value into session if object dot reference equals of session of uname, not null. What I have to do, if this is a not null, lbl message dot text equal to welcome to dashboard page. For this, what we have to do is we would like to take that session name here. Means we are capturing that session value here itself. Okay. So here I want to take okay. So I would like to take one button here. So my button is ASP dot button equal to btn kill not equal to server and text equal to kill my session. Okay. So here for this I would like to write a code. For killing of a session we have a code session dot abandon. Then session will be killed. So here I would like to write lb login successfully done. I want to transfer my page to that page, right? Server dot transfer to what is that page name? ex2.aspx. If it is okay, then what I'm going to do, I would like to fill my value to session uname equal to txt uname.text. So what I'm trying to do is, first of all, I'm checking whether that is a valid user or not. If valid user, they will return count more than 0. So if it is greater than 0, I would like to display message login successfully done, and I will read my username into session, and I would like to transfer my page to some other page. Okay, for else condition, so I will check whether it is if it is else means I will display invalid credentials. After login to this page, in this page what I am going to read is I will display one message, a welcome message. So, and then I have one button. When I click on this button, I would like to kill my session. This is my requirement. First of all, normally we will execute this page, then we will get to know. We'll get to know what is happening once after a normal execution flow. So first of all, I'll pass my username is Rekha and password is 123456. When I click on submit button, okay, welcome Rekha. When I click on kill my session, so my session will be killed itself. So if you want to navigate after kill of your session, you can navigate to your first page. Okay, for that also I would like to write a code here. After my session, server dot transfer of x1.aspx. Okay, just you can execute this page one more time. Suppose if I give 1, 2, 3 only, when I click on this one, invalid credentials, you will get the message. Means we are validating. When I click on correct credentials, okay, kill my session. When I kill my session, again I navigate to first page. This is the way how we are going to develop an application. Now I will create one page. That page is Global.asax Page. Right click on your application, click on add, click on new item. And just click on global application file. See, this is the file. So don't change the name. This is by default global.asax. Click on this. We already discussed there will be some sort of events. Okay, so you can response dot write. You can write session start event rise. This sorry. This is application and this is application error. Session start. This is application start. And event rise. What I want to do is output breakpoints. See, when I click on when I try to browse my application, so it hits to the first, that is application start. So here, okay, at the time response is not created, means application is not created. So means you can again you can run this page. This page we can't run that page directly, so that don't run that page. Just run this page. So this comes session start. Okay, now see, means when I created user, session start will be done. So something, I'm going to pass some credentials here, 1 2 3 4 5 6. When I click on this login, if I click on my session, see, means my session is going to be ended here, right? Because I use a session end. So when my session is end, then there is no response object. Response object is not available at the time of before application start and after session end. So that's the reason where it is coming and showing an error. So instead of this, we'll go with an HTTP context current writer is a method. By using that writer, we can write our own thing, whatever we can write. Suppose, say for example, we have some application, we have some error. Here I want to do an error. Suppose int a equal to 10 by 0. So which is nothing but an error. We didn't handle this error. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I would like to execute this page. Okay. So first, as usual, start will be there. So and then it directly hit to the application error. See. So error event rise. See, generally whatever we have, that event will be displayed here itself. Okay, means if you have an error, this event will be there. If you are closing your application from server perspective, then this event will be raised. So your session start is raised. You already see whenever we have a session and is also event. This you already seen. When you abandon or when you kill your session, then our session and event will be raised. In this way, we can make use of global.asax page. If you want to do anything, we can write the code, whatever the code that we want. Okay, this is about global.asax events.
Okay.
Any doubts so far?
No, it's okay.
Okay. Next is catching. So generally we might heard this term regularly. Catching is a term which we use regularly. What does it mean?
Is it like for temporary storing and
Yes,
something or?
yes, exactly. It's a kind of temporarily storing of our data in our application variable. Generally, multiple numbers of users are accessing our application if it is a web-based application. So for every time, if you want to hit our server, if you want to hit to the database and will pull the data, automatically our server makes too much of busy, means so much of burden will be there at server level. In order to reduce so much of traffic at server level, we would like to implement a caching techniques in our application level. If you thought that some of the pages which are not required to refresh each and every moment, means those are a kind of static pages, or those are a kind of a one time data inserted pages. So at this point of time, if users keep on trying to refresh the same page, we should avoid that kind of hitting to the server. So instead of hitting to the server, we'll place a first time information at cache memory and we'll display that to the user itself. Okay. Generally, in normal perspective, if user is trying to access, say for example, this is in CPU, this is in CPU. Okay, here this is an cache memory. This is in main memory, or we'll call it as a RAM. Okay, so this is an user. Suppose if user sends a request to the CPU, okay, if that request is then CPU goes for the further processing. It depends on the main memory itself first time. If that main memory information provides the data to the CPU, then cache memory stores the data temporarily here itself. So if user again whatever the information that is served by the main memory, so there is a copy of that information at cache memory. If user again sends a request for the same thing, then CPU depend on the cache memory instead of main memory. Okay, here your cache memory is nothing but our temporary memory location, and memory is nothing but our server itself. So if you are trying to access for something, if that is been available with our browser level, then
By main
our
memory, you mean like database?
yes, server, database server, it may be an application, anything.
Okay.
Okay, so this won't be hitted for each and every moment because you have a data in our browser level or something. So it will be catched that information and it will display it instead of fitting to that, and we'll get a response very quick manner, and will reduce one hit to the server. Okay, this is an advantages with by using of a caching technique. Okay, whenever we are using any of our search engines, so they mostly uses a caching technique. Okay, compared to Yahoo, Google uses a best caching technique, so that the site is very much fast and it serves our request as early as possible. Okay, So that is one of the important concept with caching. So caching is very important concept for any web application which is used to store data temporarily either on a web server or on the client system. In other words, caching is a place where data is stored temporarily. So that's the reason where I said that this is whether it is our application server or a database server. Sometimes your application server stores some data. Okay, that's the reason this may be your application server or this may be your database server, anything. Okay, main memory means. So caching is place where data is stored temporarily. This data can be stored for a specific time period on the server or a client. It is more powerful when user accesses the same set of data continuously. If user is trying to access the same kind of data, instead of hitting to the server, we'll process our request and will provide our response, so that a quick communication will be established, and unnecessarily we don't want to waste our server resources. This is the main thing with caching. Advantages is reduce the processing time. Reduces the network traffic, means if you are depending on server, so automatically some traffic is established on server end. So network traffic that will be eliminated. Improve the performance of a web application. Enhance the user experience, means user get a faster data, and lower data use means you don't need to depend on the internet much. Improve the site performance. Large data management. These are the advantages with caching. This caching will be implemented with the help of three techniques. One is a page output caching, other is a fragment caching, and other is a data caching. Okay. So page output caching means, suppose if user is trying to access an information from a page level, so then we can apply this page output caching. Okay, this will be applied for entire page. For entire page, whatever you have a data for entirely, it will be applicable. So here, in this type of caching, the entire web page is cached within the memory by specifying output cache attribute. Here, in order to do output caching, we have to create one directory that is nothing but output cache directory. In this caching technique, page output and hypertext transfer protocol, response stored in memory cache means random access memory in RAM of a computer. In ASP.NET 4, you can create more than one custom output cache provider also. So we'll see how we are going to implement this page output cache. Means entire page will be cached in this scenario. I want to create one new website for this. I'd like to name it as caching. I would like to take a new form. Okay. So this is my page. I would like to take okay. Here I would like to take one label. This is my page. In this I would like to write a code. Label one dot text. Welcome to my page. Plus current time is datetime dot now dot to string. Yeah, I would like to write something. Font dot bold equal to true. In order to implement a caching, go to the source. This is, we'll call this as an page directive. Okay, likewise here we'll create one directive. We can make it as output cache. Duration means how much time that you want to maintain your cache. Suppose if we give, like, 30 seconds, we can give how much time you want. This is in seconds. Okay, I want to show an output as quick as I can, so that's the reason where I used duration 30 seconds only. If you want 5 minutes, you can make it as a 300 seconds, like that. Vary by parameter means if you want to apply a caching for everything, then use none. So now just I want to execute this page. Okay, I'll get an output as a 7:19:36. I'm refreshing this page. See, I'm refreshing this page. So my time is not at all changing, but actually my time is changing. So it won't change means it won't hit to the server. So within 30 minutes, if you keep on hitting your server, even though you keep on hitting to the server, it won't hit. Up to 30 minutes, never interact with the server. So what are the data that is available with the information that is only displayed? Once it completes the 30 seconds, then only it hits to the server. Okay, now let us check. Maybe we can wait more, like, 5 to, like, 10 more seconds, then only we can get an output. Then only again current time will be available for us. So now we can check. See, now 20:38. Okay, now again if we click on this, means it won't. Means in this way we can apply a page output caching. Got my point?
Yeah.
Okay, so again I want to do one more example related to this. P1.asax. I would like to take one grid view. This is my data grid view. So just would like to take grid view data as on toString. I'd like to pull the data from the database using system.data using system.data.sql client. Okay. So here I would like to declare SQL connection on equal to new SQL connection, server equal to dot, and integrated security true, and database equal to July 2017, and SQL command cmd equal to new SQL command. So here I would like to pull the data of users. Select a star from users. If you want only some specific columns, you can call only that specific columns. So I want only username and created by. Okay, then you can call only those columns. So con, and we need a data adapter, SQL data adapter DI equal to new SQL data adapter of CMD. and we need data set ds equal to new data set da dot fill of ds comma x means alias name for table my table storing. Next I have a grid view one dot data source, right? Data source equal to ds dot tables of x. Next grid view one dot data bind. Close your connection and open your connection once after your connection establishment. Okay, this is the way that I want to display my data. So here I would like to apply my caching. Output cache duration equal to 30 seconds because I want to output as fast as I can. Vary by param equal to star. Okay, now I'm going to execute this page. We'll get the data at 725. I keep on hitting that. So just I want to add one more data, one more record. So now you can check. There will be three records. Even though I hit to this one application, even my data is there also, it won't display for us because the cache will displays only once it completes 30 minutes. Even though your data will be incremented or your data will be keep on adding it to your background, it doesn't bother about that thing. So let us wait for more 20 minutes, 20 seconds, then we will get an output. So now I'm trying to refresh this page. See now 726:13, you will get an output. So in this way we will get to apply a page output caching. Sorry. So in this way we'll, yeah, same page output caching. Any doubts?
No.
Okay. Next is data caching. This is a different way of approach. So how we will go with an fragment caching. So fragment means the name itself indicates that partial caching means part of page will be cached and rest of the part may not be cached. This is the use of that caching. So in order to do fragment caching, when we want to implement only some part of page requires caching, another part of page not required caching at that time, so no need to go with a normal page implementation. We can make to call web user control. So generally we have to create one web user control. Web user control means if you want to have a common designs in our applications. So for example, home page, in home page we have a same common banner for all the pages which are available in our application. So for those things we will create one web user control. So means that is a common that never be changed for every pages. So instead of creating that page for each and every page, we'll go with an web user control. So and then rest of the thing is normal page where we have to keep on increment our data or something. We keep on changing our data or something. So just what I'm going to do is here we'll see how we are going to work with an fragment caching. Just right click on this, click on add new item. So here select web user control, this one, web user control. Extension is ASCX, means we can create this can be used in any of the pages. Just we simply drag and drop this and we will place. How we are using the same normal control, similarly we can use this one. My control, I'd like to make it as my control dot ASCX. Okay, so here we have a source and design. So just I want to take ASP label. Okay, run at equal to server id equal to lbl message. So like that I can take. And here also, if you want to apply cache, you can make use of output cache. Okay, duration equal to 30, vary by param equal to star. Like that I used. And click on F7 so that we have a CS page for this. I'd like to label message dot text. Welcome to my control. Current time is datetime dot now dot to string. So like that I written. So now I would like to take one web form, add new item, fragment catching. So just I used this one and I click. Okay. So here I would like to take one more label, ASP label, ID equal to LBL message and it equal to server. In page load, just I want to write the same thing. Welcome to my web page. This is my fragment catching. Here I have my own web control, right? So this is my own web control. Simply drag it and drop it wherever we require. Okay. So just I want to drag here. Just execute this page. You will get two different things. Okay. This output is belongs to up to here. This output is belongs to that web user control. From this here, this output is belongs to this page. So click on this catching. See, whenever you are going to click on, your second will be changed, but first is not changing. You got my point? So it's keep on changing. Your second is keep on changing. This one is, but this won't change. This only changes once you complete your 30 minutes. Sorry, 30 seconds. So this is called a output page, fragment catching. Fragment means a part of page will be under catching and rest of the page is not in catching. In that scenarios, we will create web user control and we'll call wherever it is required. So this is in 57, but it is in keep on changing. Now it completes 30 seconds, then only that will be changed. So it changes 33, 35, something like that. So this is a fragment catching. Once you did with the web user control, simply drag and drop that control here so that automatically this tag is created and you will call this wherever you want. Suppose if you have 100 pages, you can call this in 100 pages. If you have some common functionality, then we are going with an web user controls. Okay, if you want a common design that you want to do, so then we'll create this web user control approach. This is about fragment catching. Am I clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So next final approach is data catching. So this is very useful approach. So data catching is very useful when you need to catch custom data into cache memory. Data caching is one of the most powerful feature in ASP.NET. In first caching, what we did, entire page will be cached. In second approach, only part of the page cached. In third approach, whatever the controls data you want to catch, that controls data you want to catch means that you can place in our cache object. So that cache object preserves our data, and if it is whenever it is required, then only it will be provided to us. Okay, that is the uses of caching. Means whenever you want to catch a custom data which is available in your application, in order to catch your custom data, we can make use of a data caching. Okay, first approach is, so no need to depend on any specific control, it is all about your page. And second approach is partial of page will be cached. In this approach is custom of your data will be cached as per your requirement. Okay, now I would like to do a program for this, and we can check how we are going to catch this information. I would like to create one page. Just give me 15 minutes time. Let me log in. Data catching ex.spx. Okay. What I am going to do is I would like to take label id equal to lbl message and run it equal to server. For this, no need to add any kind of tags itself. And I would like to take a grid ASP grid view id equal to dgv run it equal to server. So we did already a program related to this one. Just I would like to copy the same, and I would like to paste here. LBL message. So now if object dot not reference equals of cache. So I would like to take my data in one of my cache object. This is my cache object. Okay. So here this is my cache data. If my cache data is not null, then I can provide my output from the cache itself. So how I can provide means I can take my data set ds equal to data set of, I have my data in cache, right? Cache of data. So now I can make use of dgv dot data source equal to ds. Next dgv dot data binary. Here in this I'd like to display label message dot text equal to data from caching. Data from caching. So here I would like to display label data from server. Okay. Once I have a data, so just I would like to use I will initialize my data with my cache variable. So like this we can use. So you might be remember syntaxes of session and application variable in earlier session, right? Session of something we'll write like this only. Similarly, you can pass your data to the cache. Okay. So you have to set the time for the cache. So in order to set first the cache insert of we can pass. So data of so whatever the variable that we gave there, that simply use that variable, and then you can give the expiry time for this one. So expiry time and cache dependency. For this, I want to take one text file here itself. Add, click on new item, txt file. Okay, my text something. I gave a name like this. Copy this and place here. Okay. Here I would like to use that my test file. Here I have a cache dependency. Okay, make use of cache dependency. This one. Okay, web cache. So this is coming from system.web.caching. So this is the namespace. So what my requirement is here, I can make use of my text, right? My text.txt. So means how much time I need to preserve this data. So add 20 seconds means up to 20 seconds I need to catch my data. This is the thing I want to provide here. Okay. Just I want to execute this page. I'm displaying the data from server. When I click on this one, again data is coming from the cache. How you know? Suppose if I entered any data. So check here. You have how many records? 4. Now server. It is coming from server. So suppose if I insert one more record. So click on this one. Now catching. So Virendra, one more record is not coming. Means if you keep on up to 20 seconds, it won't come. Okay. So up to 20 seconds, it won't come. So now again you click on this one, you will get that record. Means if you want to catch a specific control level information or custom data information, we can store that information cache data. So this is the approach. You can store that information cache data and insert in our cache variable. So and you can check the dependency. So dependency in the sense you have to set a time for this one. So that time dependency we can make of how many seconds or minutes, whatever you want, that you can place here itself. Okay, in this way, so first time it is coming from server, means if there is a data with a cache object, it will come from here, otherwise it will come from the server. In this way we can make use of a data caching. Okay, this ends your caching topic. Any doubts so far? Hello.
No,
Okay.
no, it's okay.
So web.config file. Uh, in our application, there will be two types of configuration files. Those are machine.config and other is Web.Config. Okay. Machine.config is for an entire applications throughout our framework, which means that suppose you install your .NET software, so how many applications are running, so all will be controlled with the help of our machine.config file. Usually as a programmer we have a less scope to interact with machine.config. Only at deployment levels, like build engineers, they will handle, if anything is required they will handle at the level of machine.config file. So really we don't have scope to know more things about machine.config file, which is an server level configurations. But whereas to the web.config is used to control the application, as well as we can have con we can set configurations related to the application. We can set particular configurations related to that application. See, for every web application there will be minimum of one web.config file, and maximum of n. It depends upon the application structure. Okay. By default, root level web.config is required, which acts as a parent configuration file. See, structure will be like this. I'll show you a structure. Suppose this is your page, this is your page, this is your page, this is your page. At last, we have web.config. This may be a1.aspx, this may be a2.aspx. So likewise all pages are there. Suppose this is your directory, this is your directory. Directory may contains some other pages, right? These are the pages available with the directory. So now this is one page, this is another page, this is another page. Consider this is t1.aspx. Likewise, you have multiple pages, d2.aspx. If you want, you can create web.config. So likewise, if you have one more directory is nothing but folder. One more web.config file you can place. Likewise, so that's the reason. This is a root one. This is a root element where everything will be configured here only. If you want anything related to this directory, directory level configurations you can do here. So all your subdirectory level configurations you can do here. So, but this is responsible for root level configurations, means entire website. This will taking care of entire website. Will be here. Okay. So these are directory level configurations. What does a web.config file contains? It contains your connection strings, and it will contains a global variables, application level variables. It contains authentication and authorization. It contains debugging mode specifications. It contains registry of controls. All the things which are available with web.config file. So here what I want to do is, by default you have web.config file. If you want to create also, you can create by using this add new. I'll show you how to add. So right click on this or catchy example, click on add new item, means right click on your solution. So click on W. So you will get a config. Web API, web page, master page, web user control. This one, web configuration file, this one. Okay, your extension is always with the .config only. These things you no need to change anything. Okay, in your directory level, it always starts with again web.config. Say for example, if I create a directory, add new virtual directory, not virtual, add direct directory, and I'll create add new folder. So my data. Say for example, here I have a pages. Say click on this, add new item. I have one web form. Consider this is a P1. So and go to solution, and here also I would like to add one more, add new item. This is P2, and click on add new item. Click on web configurations and click. So this is your configuration related to this one. Okay, related to this subfolder, but main configuration is with this only, web.config file. Okay, now let us come to this web.config file. This is a configuration, means your main root tag is a configuration tag, in which a subtag is a system.web tag. Here you can specify your compilation mode. Compilation mode is nothing but, so whether you want to make it as a debug equal to true or false. If you make it to false, means you won't go within breakpoint mode. You won't get breakpoints itself. Target framework is, so current framework version is available here. Okay. So for example, if I want to declare a connection strings, if you want to declare a connection string, I can make use of a connection string here itself. Connection strings. So open off your tag and close off your tag after system.web. You can use add name equal to, so mycon. I would like to give a mycon as a name. Just connection string. Here you can provide server equal to dot integrated security database. Okay, this is your connection string. What is the use of declaring a connection string here means? If we have 100 pages requires database interaction. In that each and every page we will write like this, right? So server equal to something like this. It is very complicated to manage. Suppose if you want to change anything, suppose your database tomorrow changes to 2018, means you have to change in 100 pages. Instead of going this, if you want to maintain that in a configuration level, so if any changes happens, you directly go with your web.config page and you can change here so that it will reflect for all 100 pages. In order to make our job easier, simple, that's the reason where we'll go with our configuration pages. So just I want to do a program here with this. In order to access that information here, I would like to write here configuration manager. Dot connection strings. So what is our connection string? Whatever that you are given your connection string, this is your connection string. Name is nothing but your connection string. Name. So just to provide your name here itself, whatever the name that you have. Dot toString. So this you can place in place of your connection string. So how you will place? I'll show you. SQL connection con equal to new SQL connection. Instead of direct hard code, you can calling this from your connection manager dot connection string. Okay. Just I'm going to execute this page p1.aspx. See, your output will be displayed as usually. Okay, because this is in cache, data will be refreshed within 30 seconds. So in this way, instead of declaring our connection string, we can make that connection string at our web.config level. Got my point?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the one way of using connection string. And one more thing is we can make use of app settings also here. App setting is, so directly I would like to create one form here. Add new item. Name it as p2.aspx. I want to take a table. Enter global value A. Enter global value B. Come to the text box. Take one text box and take one more text box. Just take one button. Change the IDs of all the controls. So btn, I would like to make it as add txt. So just I want to make A, and this is txt b. Come to the web.config file. If we have any settings, app settings that you can provide here. App setting means you can add your name and key and values here itself. Key is, say for example, A. If you want to store any kind of global values, suppose if it is 10, you can place in app settings tag. Okay, don't give duplicate keys, means if you give A here, again A means error. You can give different name. Suppose this is 20. In order to access this information in our application level, we can have a thing to handle that one. So similarly, we can make use of configuration manager. For this, we require namespace, that is using system.configuration dot app settings of whatever the name that you have. Okay, dot toString. This I want to assign to our text box, txt.text. Okay. So similarly, I have to assign value to the b text box also. For this, b, and here I have a button. So I would like to change response dot write sum is. I would like to take one res equal to convert dot to int 32 of txta dot text plus convert dot to int 32 of txtb dot text. So I can display that result here itself. Now we can put a breakpoints here and let us execute this page. So it will comes to here and configuration manager dot app settings. Text box A contains 10 and B contains 20. So values will be filled, and when I click on this, and addition will perform. Sum is 30. So likewise, if you want to store any global level variables, that we can set in app settings. Okay, and if you want to place any of the licensing things, suppose if you want to use any third-party controls or third-party tools, then license keys are required. So in order to place that license key information in each and every page, we will place here itself in one of the key itself license of report, crystal reports, something like that. We can declare license of PDF reports, and we can call wherever that license key is required. And then in web.config we will manage authentication and authorization sections, so that also we can see in next class. This is about your web.config and machine.config. In fact, machine.config, as a programmer we don't have a provision to access it, because build managers, they can taken care of this at the time of builds, at the time of deployments, then only there is a chance of interact with a web.config file. Okay, that's all about information about configuration files. That's it for today.